Today we are at Parma Armory Shooting Center Gun Safety Training Institute, and we are at the 21 gun salute range, and that is the world's largest indoor double-decker shooting range, which has 100,000 pounds of rubber. And more importantly, what we're going to show you today is that we're looking to extract over 40,000 pounds of lead off this range. So I want to take you inside here where they're working right now. So they're probably going to shut down when I walk in because they want to talk to us. And the idea is that they are cleaning and pulling down all the rubber, all the lead, all the debris, all the paper, everything that could potentially be hazardous in a range for starting a fire is what we're really trying to get done and cleaned up and taken care of. So you have to come check this out. This is so interesting to see. Again, it's that behind the scene look that you don't get to see anywhere else. Before we go too far, I'm gonna take you actually right over here. Well, they're working right there, but let me show you right here, because this is what we're gonna talk about taking off the lane. So you could get an idea of what this is and the real bullets. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what we're looking for. This is what's coming off the range. You could get an idea of it right in there. And even better, we call these the fines. So this is all the stuff that we have to take off the range because it's no good for the range. It's lead particles, rubber particles, paper, dirt, dust, everything. And actually, believe it or not, this handful right here probably weighs like a pound. Like, it doesn't look like much, you just think it's powder, but it's actually kind of heavy. So anyway, we have the fines there, then you have the lead here, and not to mention even like, well, not full bullets, but there is some full bullets there. So you can see, that's a full bullet off the range, extracted after leaving a firearm, hitting the rubber, and then we collect it there. So definitely something else interesting to see. Let me take you over here. Sorry, there's so much equipment here, just be really careful. So we'll put all the material in our drums here. So I'll take you through over here. Then we really got to talk about this for a quick second because we talked about this before. This is basically a hot spot in the range where the bullets were hitting a bullet. This could be extremely unsafe at times if it's not handled quickly, and luckily we did. This is like maybe 50 bullets, 100 bullets all smashed together. That is so cool. But anyway, what's even better is that there's another one. They're like gold, like a golden nugget when you're mining. Although this is probably only worth about $5. So not quite the worth of weight it's gold, but, or worth its weight in gold, but close enough. All right, so what we're gonna do now, actually take you over to Steve Moore with Range Cleaning Solutions. He's actually the owner of the cleaning business that has done our range so many times and kept us operational. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So we want to pull Steve off the job here. You can kind of see actually what he's doing right here is extracting the rubber off of the berm, and then we'll grab the bucket and then bring it over here to put it all over here. And this whole pile is actually what needs to be processed through this machine. So this machine here, which we'll let Steve explain, will actually get rid of all the fines, fill up the lead this way, and throw the rubber up this way. You can actually see right here as well, more fine dust. So that's kind of like the small pieces of rubber and lead, dirt, dust, debris that has to get out of the range. So we have nice clean rubber to always be shot at. So you can see here, he's cleaning the shelves off. He's actually pulling the rubber down right here. You're just getting a good video of it right there. There is so much stuff down here. You could definitely get an idea of what all this is. Steve, let me talk to you too about this. So we have Steve here with Full Range Cleaning Solutions.
Hey, Rob.
This is fun. Now we've only cleaned the range, I don't know, 5 years now, 6 years,
yeah.
Maybe twice a year. So maybe we're up to like 10, 11, 12 cleanings. I don't know, I'd have to look at the record books. But imagine moving 100,000 pounds of rubber and then also the lead, separating and then collecting, moving, shipping, all this stuff. So we've done this so many times.
I'm not even imagining it. I'm experiencing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really, Steve's living in it. So ironically, I'm going to let Steve talk more about the lead stuff and handle it, and maybe just walk us through quickly what you do, how you do it, and then what it looks like, because we did show some of the barrels and the material
well, first of
in
all,
there.
thanks for having us time and again.
Oh yeah,
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
The range looks good. What we do is we take down the rubber and lead, just what you were showing it. We run it through some air handlers. That's really the way we separate it. We use air. The only distinguishing part is the weight. You know, the lead weighs so much more than the rubber, so air is the way to separate it.
Gotcha.
And as far as what to look for in the range, you know, if there's fragmented lead and dust, we can take all of that out. The problem with if you don't clean it often enough is that the rubber starts getting small.
I think we saw some of that.
Right, and there's nothing you can do about that. At some point, if you let it go, you're looking at, you know, disposal costs for the rubber and you know, cost of replacing the rubber. So the idea is to keep up with the cleaning before you get too much bullet on bullet, before your rubber starts to get small.
I think the first couple times we cleaned, we didn't really know that. And we added more and more and more rubber, and then it became too much rubber, which really doesn't hurt, but it created more rubber we had to clean that we didn't have to clean.
And it's not effective. You know, just more rubber, it just takes longer to process. Ideally, you want 30 inches deep on the horizontal. And it's nice if it's cubes, like what you originally had, you know, was 3/4, 1 inch cubes.
Yeah, a little smaller now.
It's a little smaller now. This is still good.
Yeah.
The issue is when it gets very
Maybe we
small.
see a lot smaller pieces right here and
when
things.
When it gets down to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I see.
It's no longer...
No ballistic properties in a way?
Well,
no stopping?
The problem
like
is it stops it right away.
Oh.
So instead of the bullet you know, working its way and every bullet finding a different track, it's only going in a few inches and hitting the other bullets.
I think this is what I've seen when I've traveled around the country about different ranges, not maintaining quick enough and fast enough cleaning services, because you could see the lead accumulation on the surface and it was like shiny.
Yeah.
So like when we get to that point, we know we've waited too long, but we also strategically do it before winter and then after winter because we're busy. Now we did see a little shiny here before you started,
right?
But the idea was trying to capture that as soon as possible because that's where we got those big lead chunks, or you could get ricochets, you could create fires. So I think that's what we're trying to prevent.
As soon as you start seeing lead, you've kind of waited too long.
Yeah.
Because now it's not working its way through the pile, it's stopping.
Accumulating right there.
And it's ruining that first couple inches of rubber are getting shredded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so another thing that we do, ranges that are, you know, have added a lot of rubber, we still go to the backstop because you want to kind of bring the new rubber on the back.
Cycle it back in.
Yeah, you want to recycle it. You want to keep everything nice and fluffy. You don't want to get it packed in.
And we could see still a lot of good rubber everywhere.
Oh yeah,
it's
you're
just
fine.
We have a lot of small pieces everywhere too, though, that will probably, you know, kind of work their way out.
Yeah, at some point, you know, not in the immediate future, but you know, we could, if it got to be like a 60-40 blend, you know, we might suggest taking out the small
screening.
Rubber. Yeah.
Is that something you can do?
Oh yeah.
So you just add maybe another screen on there or something, and maybe let the smaller pieces fall over here.
Different sizing. Have a 1/4 inch, say 3/16 to 3/8 or rubber go down one path through one screen, and everything else out the bottom, and then the lead obviously out the top. Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of range owners love the shooting industry, love the guns, love teaching, but at the end of the day, do we really know as owners how to maintain the trap? I think with your experience, and like we've talked about, a lot of owners miss that.
Yeah, generally, I find personally the owners are very receptive to the dialogue about what's happening with the rubber. But I think you're correct in saying that it's a little bit neglected. You know, ranges get set up, they start shooting, everything's good, and then, oh my goodness, what are we going to do with this?
Yeah. Like, oh, we weren't supposed to fill up that fast.
Right.
But in reality, when we have you come out,
a door.
Yeah.
Should have been able to have somebody come in.
Yeah, well, even here, you wiggle through our hallways.
Yeah.
You bring this machine through our hallways. Like,
Yeah.
so there is some sacrifice we have to live with without having that accessory door, which would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely more to think about for the next range we build,
Yeah.
and how we have you in there to clean
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But definitely, this is good. I do just want to make a quick plug and say, hey, look, we got to get you another range to clean, because I think you do so well here.
Oh, I
This is a
appreciate
good
that.
testimonial, and that we've, you know, we send out the lead for the best price we can. We know your
Yeah.
services. You travel around the country doing this, and we need to make sure, you know, other
Yeah.
ranges
I want to help everybody.
Yes. Well, we want you to help everybody. It's been a good mutual relationship here. I think we've understood the range better. We've
Yeah.
cleaned it better. We've cleaned it more often. I think the first couple times you were here, it was just like once.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh no, we need twice.
Yeah, and we weren't really screening it at that point.
Mhm.
And but this range is very unique. It's very well set up.
But being the double deck creates its own
yeah,
issues.
Yeah,
that,
it's a little different. There's a little more fragmented lead. A few different scenarios to be aware of. But,
sure.
we're on
Well, like
top of
even
it
that,
now.
even
Yeah.
the bullets hitting that steel plate and coming down creates that issue because it can't
Yeah.
go into the rubber.
Yeah,
It's more accumulating
slowed down
on
a little
top.
bit at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. Did you want to explain anything else with the machine? And what?
I'm happy to. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. You know, we
Okay.
can explain the equipment. If somebody wants to give me a call or whatever,
We could
or
definitely
reach
do
out
that
to
too.
us, I'm
Okay.
happy to answer questions.
So we can
and
explain that a
showcase
little
it.
further. We could provide the link in the comments for his website and everything he does. And we'll definitely share and post this around and like
Yeah.
get the word out there that maybe we're doing this the right way or a unique way, because some people use a vacuum structure or a truck that they bring here and cycle it through.
Yeah, there's a few different things, and they all they do a good job for at different situations. We have multiple equipment for different ranges, different sizes of rubber, ballistic chip as well. We've got
Yeah.
custom equipment, specific, site specific. You know, we do some really small ranges, some
Yeah.
small clubs, and so we built
Specific pieces of equipment just to take there.
just to be able to do that.
I'm
yeah.
sure you had to alter some of your stuff just to come here. But
Actually,
you know,
we did pretty good.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah.
right. We're
but
not
we're
that
always
unique.
upgrading it. We're always making it a little better.
That's
so.
why I asked when you were here. I was like, is this new? Something's different. It looks different. You know, maybe it acts a
Well,
little
we
differently.
got paint on it.
Oh,
That's part
gotcha.
of it.
So
Yeah,
different
that's
color.
Different color. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, big thank you to Steve and everything he does with his team and bringing him here to Parma Armory Shooting Center to make sure we get cleaned up. So I want to just let Steve get back at it. He's got more pounds to bring down. Again, we're talking maybe 140,000 pounds of material moved down and then processed through this machine. So we're hoping our final counts are around 40,000, and we know the amount of rubber we have here is approximately 100,000 pounds. So I know that's changed a little bit over time. It's been ground down a little smaller, but we're also extracting some of those small pieces. So give you an idea, I did bring a glove for all you people who always yell at me for these videos, which I appreciate, because I do want to keep my lead levels very low. So it does help, but check this out. So you get an idea of like what the fines look like. This is the rubber and the small pieces of lead that happen during shooting, maybe because of the uniqueness of the range and the double deck, or we should clean it sooner. You know, there's a lot of variables that could go into this. But again, we're gonna have 40,000 pounds of this and the actual lead that we'll get a good scrap value out of, because you know, that's what we do the range for. That's helping pay for the filters and paying for Steve's service and some other things. So it's an income stream to actually be able to collect the bullets, but it's also an expense to the business because it does cost a lot of money to do this. Replace the filters, clean everything up. Wait till we're done here, because you're gonna see, look how damaged this floor is. This whole floor got all scratched up because we have to run machines through here. So we're gonna do a painting video. We'll show you everything that goes into it. And keep in mind, this cost me, I don't know, $20,000, $25,000 every time Steve is here because of the work he has to do, the filters, the floor, the cleanup, everything that follows it to get it back to looking like the best range in the world. And don't forget the multiple pound lead bullet, fragmented, collective. I'm gonna put this in a showcase, I think. This looks like it's museum quality. You know, like I said, it's like the golden nugget. It's only lead, but doesn't have quite the value of gold. But I mean, it just kind of struck me as like this would be in a monument case and be like, oh, that's gold. So anyway, that's what we have today in regards to lead cleaning. Definitely more to come. I'll try and wear gloves, wear a mask when lead is flying, because I want to make more fun videos, but I can't do it if I'm eating lead. So anyway, stand by for more, and don't forget to read the comments for Steve's information, and leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.